I don't.
Control next back nice. Ndio.
Imagine in a world where something as simple as grass can restore dignity, create jobs, and save our planet. My name is Faith Wandia, and today I present a revolutionary innovation, turning grass into high-quality, biodegradable sanitary pad and diapers. Menstruation is not a choice, yet 65% of women and girls in Kenya cannot afford a sanitary pad. They resort to using drugs, leaves, and even drink herbs that are harmful for them to stop their cycle. This leads to lost opportunities, school dropouts, and infections. At the same time, Africa faces a waste crisis. Around 12.3 billion sanitary pads are disposed annually, which take each 500 to 800 years to decompose because of the 90% plastic content. This problem goes beyond affordability and waste. I've conducted a thorough market research and I found out that no big brand uses biodegradable materials in the making of sanitary pad and the diapers. They all rely on plastics and synthetic materials. Let me explain this. A sanitary pad is made up of three parts. The top layer, this is the part that is in contact with the skin. The absorbent core, this is the part that absorbs the liquid. And the bottom layer, this is the part that prevents leakage. In these brands, the top layer, they use a material called nonwoven polypropylene. This is a plastic that takes decades to decompose. The absorbent core, they use something called wood pulp and synthetic super absorbent polymer. These are chemical based and non-biodegradable. And the bottom layer, they use material called polyethylene. This is also a plastic. This means that for decades, women have been forced to choose between their health, affordability, and protecting the environment because the market has given them no other choice. That is why I created a better alternative. My innovation involves converting grass into one, the absorbent core of the sanitary pad and diaper, and two, the bottom layer of the sanitary pad and diaper. The layers of my products are as follows. The top layer is made up of 100% cotton and woven fabric. The absorbent core is made up of grass fibers and starch-based super absorbent polymer. And my bottom layer or bottom sheet is made up of grass fibers, bioplastic. No chemicals, no plastic, just nature solving real problems. The process of production of my product is very easy. Grass is harvested, it is washed, it is then cut into small pieces, and then we now use to make the absorbent core and also the bottom layer. Why grass? Grass is the most abundant, underutilized natural resource, which, yes, we use the grass species such as Brachiaria, Bermuda, Napier grass, Kikuyu grass. This is because of their high yield. Our unique value proposition is as follows. It is affordable because it is locally produced. It is 100% biodegradable. This is because it degrades within weeks. we will expand to East African countries such as Uganda, Tanzania, and Rwanda. And from year 6 onwards, we will go to the rest of Africa. Our competitive analysis is as follows. This is a comparison between grass pads and the traditional pads. Affordability. Ours is more affordable. A packet containing 10 pieces will go for only 60 Kenyan shillings. And if you compare with the other brands, a packet containing 8 pieces goes from Kenya shillings 75 to 150 Kenyan shillings. Ours is 100% biodegradable, the grass pads, while the other takes around 500 to 800 years to decompose. Lastly, we have one on, ours is more abundant because it is locally grown. The others, they usually import these products. Our SWOT analysis is as follows. Our strength is innovation, low cost, and eco-friendliness. This is biodegradability. Our weakness is scaling production, but with grants and partnerships, this will help. Our opportunity is that this industry is a $1 billion industry. Currently, it's at 40 billion USD. Our threat is big brands, but they will not match our affordability and sustainability. Our revenue model is as follows. To produce one pod, we use 3.75 Kenyan shillings, and one single pod will be sold for 6 Kenyan shillings. A packet contains 10 pieces. That means one packet will go for 60 Kenyan shillings. That means we'll have a profit margin of 37.5 Kenyan shillings. In an acre growing, let's say, super napier grass, it has a minimum yield of 1. An alternative to other bioplastics. This is my pad. This is my wingless pad. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Wandia. If I could just see the products.
Oh.
So what exactly have you patented?
Okay.
Thank you.
I've patented my idea of converting grass, agricultural waste, the process into sanitary pad. I've also patented the process of converting grass into an alternative to plastic.
Okay, so what sort of patent do you have?
What type? What types of patents?
There are many different ones. It
Yeah.
depends because you actually had them.
Yes?
They usually say what kind of patent they've given you. It can be a utility
Oh.
patent. It depends on.
It's not utility model.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's something else.
Yes.
So you've patented the process.
Yes, I have various claims.
So you have?
Various claims. When you're
Yes.
making a patent, you should also give claims
Yes.
to the patent. One of other claims is no one can make sanitary pads from grass. There are various.
Okay.
And also I've specified the different types of grass species. It's a very wide patent.
Okay. So how exactly do you make this sanitary pad?
I
With the
can
grass?
just give you
Yeah, in brief. Yeah.
a brief.
Yes.
You harvest the grass,
Yes.
you wash it,
Yes.
you cut it into small pieces, then you convert it into something soft
Is the
that can be used
conversion?
as an absorbent core,
Yes.
and now the bioplastic.
Okay. So is there convert? How does it get converted? Is it using machinery? Is it using chemicals? Is it using a manual process?
Actually, the products that are here,
Yeah.
I have made them at home. Yes. I've not used any machines, but in my milestones, I've ordered a machine and some other raw materials that are coming from China to help in the process. And I'm also planning to launch in September 2025.
Okay.
Yes.
I still don't understand one, dear.
The process.
Do you ponder what is that? I'm trying to get.
I'm trying so much not to mention
But you have a
until I get
patent.
an international patent. That's why
Okay.
I'm just giving.
Okay, it's all right.
Juju.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thanks, Wandia.
Yes.
Hello.
Hello.
Quick question.
Yes.
Do you know why your competitors use the polymers? Why do they use the polymers as opposed to
Because
biodegradable?
why they
option?
don't? Pardon. Sorry.
Why they use the polymers as opposed to biodegradable options?
Yeah.
Do you know a reason why?
First, it's easier to make the other non-biodegradable materials. It's easier for them to make. So when you come up with biodegradability, a biodegradable top sheet or a back sheet, you have to invest a lot in research. Really have answered.
Yes, but that's, you'd always argue that's something they can invest in. I mean, you have a company like PNG producing always, right?
Pardon?
You have a company like PNG, Procter and Gamble, that produces always, so they have money to do research. I was just trying to see whether you have an idea why they use those polymers as opposed to the biodegradable, because I don't think it's research. Research is something they can do. Yeah, so one way of also understanding how to position your product is also informed by why maybe a competitor is doing what they are doing as opposed to something else.
I think that's why I think I'm bringing another alternative by showing people that if we use the resources that are around us, we can also be able to make materials that are alternatives to what they have. I don't have a good answer.
My last question was,
Yes.
do you have an idea of the absorption capacity of your like this pad you have just shared?
Yes. First, I was using, when I started making the prototype, I was only using grass fibers, and I was studying and comparing the absorption level using the other traditional pads. So I needed to add something called super absorbent polymer, and the absorption rate is same because a lady can produce or can during the menstrual, within 5 hours, if you're having a high flow, you can produce up to around 40 to 50 ml. So I tested it, and it's capable of absorbing up to 60 ml.
Just a quick one. I know in your analysis you've basically highlighted the you've compared it to the non-traditional pad. Is there a comparison with other biodegradable materials that are being used, i.e. papyrus? We've had one in the morning, which was, I can't remember very well,
Yes.
but there was another biodegradable banana.
Yes.
Yes.
I have studied that sanitary pad. The top layer contains 100% cotton. The absorbent core it contains banana fibers, but the bottom sheet is made up of polyethylene, which is a plastic. So I've studied, actually, I even had samples of Always, I had Soft Care, I had Cortex, and in all, it's clearly written. Just allow me. Like, this is Always, and it's clearly written the contents. Composition cellulose. The cellulose is the absorbent core. They actually use wood pulp and convert. None of these pads use real cotton as the absorbent core. It's only a company called Organic Pads that only use real cotton. Hizi zingine zote, they usually use pulp from woods or bamboo. Then the second content is polyethylene. This is the bottom sheet. Then there is polypropylene. This is the top sheet. All these are plastics. And the absorbent core, they use chemicals to convert wood into cotton-like material. Also for soft care, the same thing as written.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
Yes.
Hi.
Hello.
So my question is around. I know he asked the rate of absorption,
Yes.
and you said it's highly. What percentage? And then, yes, answer that.
The normal flow and how the sanitary pads are designed. For sanitary pads, they have regular,
Yeah. There is.
kuna hizo, the various regular, thick, maxi thick. And for flow, it's around 40 ml of a lady if you have heavy flow. I've tested my absorption and it could absorb up to 60 ml, and you could feel it's not wet. The wetness does not
Okay.
feel.
Okay. So, and I'm saying this because I have interacted with a portfolio company
Yes.
doing sanitary pads, but in Uganda doing papyrus.
Yes.
And they're called marker pads. They are doing papyrus. So the way and I find it a bit easier to understand the absorption. What they say is when you use can't remember they super heavy and whatever, right? They show based on the flow, the heaviness of the flow. So they say there is measurements online which shows for super, I should not go more than 3 hours for that. And they say these can go more than 3 hours, something close to that. If you can wrap your head or rather get a bit of how you can describe yours.
Okay.
The other bit is what stages of testing are you at in terms of getting certifications for being able to trade when you have your patent out?
Okay. I was waiting for my products which are coming from China. That is the top layer, which is 100% cotton and woven fabric. It's not found in Kenya. I was waiting for it so that I can start the KEBS certification because of my planned launch in September 2025.
Okay.
Yes.
My other question, what other parts are you importing? Because there is also the other part, the pads, the sticky part.
Yes.
Are you producing that, or are you also importing? Also the sticky parts and the top layer. Are you importing or are you?
Okay, so all the parts of a sanitary pad are as follows. There is a poach film. This is the part that protects the sanitary pad. What they are selling outside there, it's made of plastics. Let me show you. And that one, I'm using a biodegradable material to make it. There is the sticky part. The sticky part, I'm using an adhesive that is available in Kenya. And the things I have imported is one, the 100% cotton nonwoven fabric. The release paper, this is the paper that is put kwa hiyo adhesive. Unaitoa so that you can stick it to your pant.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
So it's only the release paper
Yeah.
and the cotton nonwoven fabric,
yes.
and a machine called fiber processor or defibrator. This is the one that they usually use to convert wood into cotton-like material.
All right. Have you set up your production facility, or how are you going to go about it? In this case, because I understand there are different machines. There is the sealers. There is the machine to put the adhesive. There is, and they do in different stages. Have you been able to set up all those machines?
Not yet.
Okay.
So
How are you planning to go about
I'm
it?
planning to do everything hand until I can get the funds to
Okay.
be able to, like you see, there's the bottom part and the top part. I can be able to cut it well, the various pieces that I'm having. Then I can be able to seal them together. There are ways of sealing them
Yes,
together.
yes,
Yes.
yes. I think a comment I would want to make, it's up to you. I'm happy to introduce to someone who made those machines for that investment company.
Okay.
They are locally made, not in Kenya, but in Uganda. But I know they fabricated those machines are easier to make because I know making it manually, it will not be commercially viable for you to hit the volumes that are required. So trying to explore small mechanization as you think how to go big would be an option for you. All the best.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much to our judges, and thank you so much, Faith, for the clarity and the explanation. We kicked Leonard off stage, in quotes. So now we are going to give him another chance to come in, hoping that the tech team can confirm that we are good to go. Okay, we are good to go. So let us appreciate Leonard as he comes on stage for the second round to share with us what he does in Nyandarua with the Young Tech Farm. A round of applause for Leonard.
For the opportunity that I've been given to showtech my technology from Young Tech Farm, being the founder, Leonard Dambuki Wambui. The Young Tech Farm is a farm in Orkarau, Nyandarua County, estate, Juakali estate in Orkarau, and it's trying to cater for land that is not there anymore in the urban centers. So, okay, that's all. Now, being the description of the farm is a Young Tech Farm is a leading farm enterprise, specializing in vegetables and fruits, specifically kales and spinach, managu, or the black nightshade, and also squash and strawberries. The mission and the key products from the Young Tech Farm is empowering you through modern vertical farms. As you know, in the urban centers, the farms they are no more. Now they have been used for other activities like schools, urban centers, malls, and in commercial buildings. From there, then the biggest and of the farm produces supplies in Nyandarua or over Nyandarua, and the target is to produce the urban farms model and also to produce as many as possible, as many vegetables as possible. As you know, Nyandarua is a very green area. People are wondering why Nyandarua do we require the modern farm? Like now in Nyandarua, there is also change in weather, and those vegetables are affected most highly due to the change in low temperature and the high temperature. So in this vertical farm, you can be able to to moderate the temperature using the greenhouse system. Now the vertical farm, as you can see from the farm, you can be able to farm from the lower end going upwards. And you can use as little as a square meter. You can use the triangle method. You can use the cone method that circulates all over the as it goes up. And from there, this vertical farm can be modeled from very different things, from the PVC black pipes to bottles to cement bags that have been used to store cement and are waste. So now this vertical farm helps in recycling of the materials. The competitive advantage of the vertical farm, there is an year-to-year round production of the vegetables and the fruits. Another thing, there is an efficiency of the minimum space. Like now, this space can be able to produce around 5 to 10 vegetables, spinach. That's a square meter. Upwards, you can go up to the height of a human being. That is maybe 1.6 meters. And as you go up, you can be able to produce more and more. The problem and remedies, they lower the cost of production first. Using this farm, I can also wear even a suit and go to the farm. There is nothing, I will not even get tired in using the vertical farm. Another thing, there is a maximization of the smaller space, corridors, balconies, kitchen walls outside, or other walls. Also, there is the problems brought by this, the problem we are trying to solve. There is also urban migration from people have stopped from farming. Why? People think that farming is so tired, it's so tiresome. But using this, it's very easy to do that. Another thing, there is demand for a white collar job. It's not there. If all of us are in there to work to a different company, all we go there, we won't get those jobs. But using this, you can be able to generate income. The revenue stream is that the spinach can be able from 20 feet vertical farm of around 4 strips, can be able to produce around 50 kgs, each selling at 10 shillings, that are around 1,500. Kales, 100 kg, 10 shillings at 1,000 shillings. Managu, the same, 1,000. And strawberries can be able to produce up to 5,000 per month. Yeah, you can see from that point, you can see how the current progress from where I started to now where I am. And the revenue can be also been seen there. It's around 1,500 for spinach. Tomatoes are 22,000, 17 to 22,000, depending on the season. Long-term goals are quality and traceability of the vegetables. You can now, I hope, I don't think any one of us knows where the vegetable comes from. How sure are you? How green are they? How fresh are they? How clean are they? But by using this one, you can be able to do your own at your own home ground. An investment budget is estimated to cost at 200. My seek is around 220,000, which will be distributed among the few things from the greenhouse, water tank, and irrigation systems, seedlings, fertilizers, and labor for supervision. And I think I'm done with that. It's the judges. So,
Hi,
hi.
good job.
Thank you.
And I can see the journey you have had so far to where you are.
Okay.
My understanding, my first question is to understand what you're doing. So currently, are you using either of the products in your farming? You are?
Yes, I'm using them.
Okay. And have you sold to other people within where you come from?
Okay, right now I've not sold. I didn't start so long, so I've not be able to construct for someone else.
Okay.
As per now.
So this is based on what you have built and what you're using for your own farm.
Yes.
How big is the plot that you're farming using the product?
I have a 50 by 100 plots.
Yes.
But right now I have not constructed much. I've just constructed 2 of 20 feet each.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Holding a pipe of 20 feet long.
Okay.
From this end to this end is 20 feet, and holding four strips from both sides. That's 8.
And have you gotten anyone within where you come from expressing the need, or have you gone out and spoken to people around where you come from and they expressed a need of using the product?
Okay. There is an interest, but I've not worked on that.
Okay.
There are interests.
Okay. Okay. How do you know their interest? Because you have not talked to them.
Okay. I had presented this some time ago last year.
Yes.
To someone, and he liked the idea. He's from the county.
Yes.
And he liked the idea. So he said, when he's ready, he'll be able to give me an opportunity to construct one for him.
Okay.
At his home, yeah.
All right. Yeah. And currently, what is holding you back to construct these using the locally available material and start selling?
Okay, the most thing that is disturbing me right now is the seedlings. Mm-hmm. From the seedlings, then there is it requires some stands. Like you can see, there are some stands. So they cost quite, quite hectic to acquire the stand.
Okay.
And from there, another thing is it's not easy to convince people that you want to construct all from the whole plot. It's a family plot, or you cannot be able to construct in the whole plot.
Okay. Yeah. My point is, when you're constructing the product, you can start with locally available material. The reason I'm saying that is because I have seen kitchen gardens, people who have constructed even using existing, what are they called? The motor vehicle tiles, right? I have seen people constructing that. What they sell is the ingredient of the soil and its capacity to produce, not the construction itself. So I believe that there are still locally available material before you're able to buy the fancy ones that you can construct something and you start selling. And then as the money comes, you're able to upgrade, start there. Because right now you haven't sold any of the product to anyone. You can even start with those ones. I don't know whether what you're doing also can fit into the tiles, kind of the tire, the vehicle's tiles, kind of.
It's called a cone method.
Yes, I don't know whether it fits that kind of model, but I have seen those, and I've seen even some using sacks. You know, the potato sacks, right? And I have seen them selling. So start somewhere, build something, sell to someone, and then from there, start seeing the business aspect of that process of selling to someone. I am looking at the cost there, and you want to build a greenhouse and a water tank irrigation system. Is this for you, for your farm, or is it for building for your clients?
It's for my farm.
Okay. Okay. So you want to scale up your farming endeavor?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So you have, it's like you have two products. You have the farming, which you would want to scale, because I saw your revenue right now is from the spinach and scales that you're selling from your small piece of land. But also you have these products that you'd want to also integrate into what you're selling.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. What do you want to put in the greenhouse?
The vertical farms.
Okay.
To control the, Nyandarua is very cold at some time and very hot at some time. Like now it's very hot. And approaching June, July and August, it's extremely cold. So the greenhouse will help control the temperature.
Okay. My advice again, before the money comes and before you fundraise for greenhouse, I would say set up a demo farm that has this with locally available material, be it sacks, be it tiles, be it, and produce to the maximum, right?
Yes.
Because then someone will be able to see, I see the need of even improving the technology or improving the product to a better, rather than right now you're not even, I have not sold anything to anyone, but you still want to put a greenhouse. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
Do better with what you have, and then now show the need to build it beyond what you have.
Yes.
Right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So a lot of the farmers are overstretched. They can't get to quality and consistent. That's another key thing, consistent advisory for the day-to-day farming. And something that I've been working on over the years on this idea and refining it over time. And to be able to contribute in solving this problem within the bigger system in agriculture, we figured let's have a tool that can be able to solve this problem as it is, but without having anything else on top. And so the first thing this tool is doing, it's called FarmUp, it's an app, is it offers a visual digital advisory support, which is a critical part that farmers are lacking right now. So farmers are able to share visuals of their problems on the farm to us, which is now responded to by experienced advisors. And the other thing that is offering is an exclusive and comprehensive farming videos platform for them to learn on content that is very carefully curated on very specific educational content so that they are properly guided on farming. So Farm Help by itself will basically be about a farmer is going about their farming out there in the farm. So when they spot a problem of a sick crop or a sick animal, they take a photo or a video of that problem and they share it with us. So now we'll have a team of remote officers whom we've had over time who are qualified and registered as required by the government to be able to respond to those questions remotely, wherever they are. So a farm is able to get quick and prompt support for their problems after having a proper visual review of the problem. And also, we will be able to provide farmers with what our goal is to have the largest and most comprehensive video library for farmers in Kenya. There's a lot of videos online that are there. Farmers need to go on YouTube, for example, but when they go there, they have to go through the particular company's YouTube channels to get content, and that's quite involving. And also, we know about YouTube, it can be very distracting. You're watching a video of farming, the next video comes up is about politics or something that is weird. But you want to make very easy for farmers to learn uninterrupted and learn content that is properly prepared for them. So whom are we targeting with this solution? Again, this is a dicey issue that has been talked about in so many ways, even addressed to us. So we are targeting ideally farmers with smartphones. And I know I'll have questions on that, and I'll be glad. So from the data we've worked on based from various reports we've been compiling, reviewing, we are looking at around 7 million farmers right now who have smartphones, and the number is growing quite fast. Also, if you look at the data and figures from Communication Authority of Kenya, who give a picture of what's happening between smartphone adoption and the feature phones. There's a big shift happening in that space. We can come to that later on. So we are looking at 7 million farmers right now out of the 21 million Kenyans who are farmers. And this being an addressable market, we believe is big enough for us to work on. And also we have a dream for Africa as well, that as we continue working on this solution in Kenya and we get it right and mature it in Kenya, we also want to spread the same story to the rest of Africa, because these problems we are facing here are not unique to us. They really run across the whole continent. And the market size we are looking at, basically from the 21 million Kenyans who are farmers, they have a market TAM of 29.4 billion. And coming down to the 7 million Kenyans who have smartphones now, they're giving us a market, a serviceable market of about 10 billion. And down to Africa as well, as high as 992 billion, serviceable market coming to 158 billion. And how do you intend to go to the market and really grow on our user base? We have two main ways, below the line and above the line, to make it easy for us as a team and those who are not marketers. So below the line is more of the one-to-one marketing, and the key ones will be working with farmer cooperatives to reach out to them for partnerships to onboard their members on these, and also going out for farmer expos and exhibitions where many farmers come together. So it's a lot more cost-effective and time-saving through those forums, and also working with field agents and also having agro-based stores marketing and activation as well. Above the line will involve now digital marketing, which is what we've been doing either way. Partnerships with government agencies, we have some of those in place, and some of them also in discussion as well. And now we can partner with some of the agencies around agriculture right now. And looking at our competitors and how it's playing out, we have various competitors in Kenya and across Africa. But right now our focus is on Kenya. So obviously the biggest ones are the current officers on the ground, the ones who are doing the actual work. But again, going back to the problem statement, they're not enough. And that's why there's a big struggle in that space. And the other players like DigiFarm, DigiCow, M-Shamba, and the others, who many of them don't offer these as a service, core service. It's more of a support service to what they're offering. So if they're doing credit, they offer that as a support to their farmers. And so what makes us different from them also is we are offering the first of its kind visual digital support, which will be a big thing on quality. Because also many of them have struggled in the past because what they're offering is quite not effective, and farmers cannot see value in that. So if you're doing SMS support, SMS by itself as a technology is very limited. It's all about text and links at best. But now with visual, we're able to, first of all, review the problem properly, which is a big thing for farmers, and then give them now better quality advisory on the same. So also, we took time to review our competitors on 4 key areas that we think are differentiators. So we wanted to see, are they offering visual digital support? Are they offering farming videos as well? Can they give their farmers real-time support? Can they also offer both crop and livestock? Because some tend to have a focus on one or the other. And this is how we've played out pretty much. And what have we done so far? So we have the app on Play Store, although it has an issue right now with Google, our Google account. I'll explain that later on in the F&Q part. We have the app, and also we have partnerships in place with AAK, who are now known as CropLife Kenya. They've given us an access to exhibit across all their trainings in the country. Wherever they are, we can be there with them at no cost. We also have a partnership with the Syngenta Foundation. They've had a program called Farmers Hub program for the past 15, 20 years. So they gave us access to their farmers who are around 10,000 and more to be able to bring this to them as well. We've also have discussions with Cairo. Cairo are aware of what we are doing. I've had meetings with the ICT team and also the director of crop systems. They know what we're doing on this as well. Also, we've done some revenue. I think I forgot to put that. We've done some 2 projects on creating content. The farm video is part of the business for 2 clients, around 300,000 shillings that we've done so far. And when we begin our full-scale operations, by the first year, we should be having at least 12,000 farmers with around, let's say, around 2,000 of them paying. And then by year 5, that can grow even to 500,000, depending on how aggressive we are with revenues and even fundraising as well. So our revenue model, we make money through subscription on Farm Help. Farmers pay a given fee a month. And also we also offer, later on, we'll offer companies a dedicated support line for them to offer support to their farmers in advisory. And then the videos part, we make money through, right now we're not charging them, but we begin charging them for the videos to be on our platform. Because the videos are educating farmers also on how to use their farm inputs. So they pay a fee for the videos to be on our platform. Also, as we grow, we'll start running ads on that section as well. And also, we're charging farmer companies to do for them content, like we've done and made some money out of that already. So our impact is across 4 areas, and really it's about just offering digital support to, support to farmers in their millions through a tool that can be able to do that effectively, that can scale. Also, we're looking at being able to influence and change better use of farm inputs. It's a big issue with farmers. Many don't use the proper farm inputs in the farm because they don't have enough knowledge. They do not know how to use the farm inputs when they buy them. So when they learn how to use the farm inputs, they're able to also now to be able to use them better. So the team, I'm the founder, I'm an entrepreneur. I've done another company, a marketing agency over the years, worked with some companies in this space of agriculture. My main client is a veterinary manufacturing company. Over the past 8 years, I've worked with them. So I've also been able to really grow my networks and my understanding of this issue while working with this client. I also have Jackson over here. He's an experienced vet officer, and Edwin is a CTO as well, who's been at Moringa and UN, also at Safaricom as well. So the team that I work with at the core and other people on the side on need-to-need basis. So we are looking for around now 3 million, even 30 million will do, we don't mind. But it will focus majorly on these 4 key areas: farmer outreach. That right now is my biggest headache. How do we get to farmers with what we have now? And also working more on the mobile app to upgrade it as well. And also getting equipment for video production for our business, our part on farm videos. Yeah, and that is it about farm tech and Farm Hub. Thank you.
Thank you to our judges.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that presentation. Just a quick question on the competitor analysis.
Yeah.
And if you can just go back there. Yeah, there's quite a number of this that looks like it actually has a push, so to speak, a push other than demand-driven. If you get what I mean, it's like you're pushing to the farmer, but I think all of them have failed in terms of really getting the farmers to understand the value, and scaling has been a problem. I'm just looking at what is your UVP in terms of creating a demand-driven, like the customer feels, and that this is beneficial. And they are struggling with prices. They are struggling with fake fertilizer. They are struggling with real stuff. And so when there's fancy stuff that show up, their space in that somehow is taken up by the challenges they have in terms of pricing, in terms of that. So just paint a picture. If I'm a farmer, how am I going to be hooked to this content? Because then again, you're competing with a lot of social media. So if you're looking at social media, it's big, and that is inexpensive, and that you find them where they are actually. So just paint a picture of what you're doing to really get farmers hooked.
Okay, thank you for that. So one thing that's about farmers, a beautiful thing about them is they love information. Farmers love knowledge. If they get somewhere, they can pick something. Even if it's a flyer, they always pick it even without asking. So the issue of how to make, how is farmer a pull and not a push product, the farm videos part is free for the farmers. You don't have to pay to watch the videos. So even at the bare minimum, if you have the app, you can always have the videos to watch. But you want to ask a question to get support on your farm, then you have to pay for that. But actually, when you go out there, you're focusing, tell them about the videos, they get hooked on that. And then over time, because farmers always have things to ask about their farm. So then they can be able to start paying for the advisory part.
Just a follow-up question again.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know about a farmers media.
Farmers.
A farmers media.
How do you pronounce
that?
Yeah.
Then farmers media. It has the biggest group on Facebook, and they use sample farms to demonstrate a number of things. And I know Microsoft actually looked for them at some point because, not Microsoft, Facebook looked for them and took the founder to the Facebook offices to just explain how he's able to do that. Something you can learn from, but it's because it's social media and you get a grouping of already people, and now using a sample farm to conduct this sort of how to do this, how to do this, how to tackle this. So you create a community. So when it comes to content, it's about community development. And so you might want to look at that, but they're very big. And when Bill Gates came to Kenya, he actually looked for them. Yes, so just look at that and see. They don't have any website. It's just Facebook.
Okay, I'll look for them. Thank you.
Hello.
Hi.
Yeah, my question is, do you have any paying customers, or do you have a metric that shows the number of hours people have viewed your content, or it's something that's still in the pipeline?
No, with the app, because we've done some testing with it, it said about 200 users. So the MVP part of the app doesn't have a way to capture the data and the metrics. That's why I think, because it's quite expensive, but you have a product blueprint, a blueprint for that, a plan. So as you get, depending on how much money we have now, whether revenue or fundraising, it now determines what to do next until we get to the point of being able to capture the viewing hours, minutes watched, and even the most popular videos and all that. Yeah, something we're working towards.
Have you asked any of the 100 customers how much they would be willing to pay?
Yes. The amount we've given them, they're ready to pay even now. In fact, for many,
and the value ticket size, asking them if we charge you, for example, we charge you 300 shillings, will you be able to take it up?
Definitely. Actually, if you look at that amount, it's the same to 10 shillings a day. So, because again, the farmers who can afford even triple that amount, they can pay that even 6 months and even a year in advance. Yeah, because I've been in this space, I've worked with a lot of farmers as well in the 8 years with the client. So the farmers who can pay that, there are those who cannot even pay, let's say even 10 shillings. So a sweet spot for now, and also we're just starting off, we want to see how that plays out. As we get feedback from the farmers, those who are paying, those who cannot pay, you want to know why can't you pay? Is it too much? Is it too? Do you want to pay that in bits as well? Lipa pole pole. So we want to try all these things out once we are fully out there with the farmers a lot more. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
We have one more. Okay. Thank you so much for that presentation, Kevin. And yes, we move on to the final pitch of the day. And the final pitch of the day will be represented by Jacob Miner from Nairobi County. Again, in the food security and agriculture sector. Please let us welcome Jacob from CropScan. Please let us clap for Jacob as he comes.
So, good morning, everyone. Good afternoon. I'm waiting for the timer to start. It's still reading the previous. So good morning, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jacob. I am the founder CEO, CropScan Technologies. So when I put that photo there, what comes to your mind first? Maybe you can tell me it's a guy wearing a black cape or a young man holding a djembe or a panga, but I want to draw your attention to the crops that he's planting. They look really spoiled, expecting very low yields, if any. But then it gets even more interesting if I tell you that that was me several years ago when I graduated from the university and I needed to practice agriculture. I went back to my rural community to practice agriculture. And I had a lot of dreams and hopes on what agriculture can do for me in the future. If you come from a rural setup, you can agree with me that in the evening, after around 2 or 3 people go sit together and discuss and talk and wind up the evening every day, 7 days a week, the entire year. That is me seated on that corner. But these sessions throughout those years taught me one key lesson that as we were discussing, the problem of food losses or the low yields was not only happening to me alone, but to all of us as the young people in that community too. It also made me learn another second lesson that shaped the entire journey ahead of me, where I noticed that when we planted, all of us then resorted back to guesswork and using our intuition on what we should apply, the farm chemicals, the fertilizer, and if you are a farmer, you can agree with me on that. So that does not only happen to us as we were farming, but over 87% of the small-scale farmers in Kenya cannot access expert agronomy services. 91% cannot access even the basic labs where they can take their crops for testing. That leads to many other challenges. For example, the economic losses. WFP has quoted that over 35%, that farmers are losing up to 35% of their yield per acre due to poor application of fertilizers. On one side is the over-application of fertilizers, which leads to environmental degradation, with research showing that every 10 kilogram of fertilizer or chemicals that is applied emits up to 2.4 kilograms of GHG. The other side is the hidden hunger malnutrition, where you are consuming enough food, enough calories, like we took lunch today, but really they don't have the right nutrients because the farmer did not apply the right fertilizers and chemicals. So the reason those have existed for so many years is because farmers have been using trial and error in applying the basic farm inputs, but also farmers have been depending on labs, doing sampling, taking their crops to the labs, getting a technical report, which is expensive, but they have also been depending on the private agronomists who charge up to 6,000 shillings to come to the farm and advise the farmer. For there to be optimal growth, researchers say that a farmer needs up to 4 visits by the agronomist. Really, that's about 24,000 small-scale farmers. That might be too expensive for them. So after farming for several years, then I got an opportunity to go to Moringa School of Programming, trained as a software engineer, and we came together as a team and asked ourselves, beyond this, what if there was a simple and affordable tool that the farmer could use to know the chemicals and fertilizers to apply? And that's why we came up with the CropScan Smart Farming IoT device. It's a small device the size of your notebook. It is solar powered, it is handheld, and works like a digital pocket agronomist. You only tap it on the farm, on the crop leaf or the stem. It identifies the nutrients that are missing in that crop and the fertilizer or farm chemical that then you need to apply. We have already filed for 3 utility patents for the technology. And for a farmer to get our services, they only place a request through either a call or an SMS or WhatsApp. They are matched up by a system algorithm to the closest agent with a CropScan device. The agent gets to the farm, does the testing for the farmer. The farmer receives this text on their phone immediately. That shows the crop type the farmer has planted, the required nutrients for that crop at that stage, and which among those nutrients that crop requires, which ones are missing, and what can the farmer apply. And beyond that, we also give them a CYI or the crop yield index. The farmer only pays us, so the agent then takes the farmer through that SMS so that the farmer can fully understand. The farmer only pays us 400 shillings per acre. We cost share with this agent. He takes 40%, we take 60%. We pay them at the end of the month, so they are not on our payroll. We do a revenue share at the end of the month. So on the basis of something like the affordability, we beat all our competitors. We are 15 times cheaper than an agronomist. On the basis of other things like getting results immediately at the farmer receives the results right at the farm. They don't have to wait for a technical report like from the lab. We are able to track the nutrients throughout the growth stage, among others. Our competitors are like the Ujuzi Kilimo Soil Testing Company, Lantera Agronomist, and Nutri Laboratories. So far, we've been able to deploy 141 prototype devices to different agents who are operating with them. We, in the last 1 year, impacted 3,000 farmers, targeting 200 to 230 every month. We have been able to reduce, and those are our early adopters who have reported up to 50% reduction in their fertilizer and farm chemical cost, because now they apply what the crop needs precisely without really the general application of the same. On the social aspect, we have been able to reduce the cost of accessing such services from as high as $60 to $4, and of course, reduction in the emissions by farmers using the right quantities. Our market is big, starting with 2.3 farmers in Kenya. As you scale across Africa, our team is made up of myself. We have Wycliffe, our CTO. We have a lead trainer for training the farmers. We have
Good presentation. How much money did you make last year in terms of revenue?
2.5.
2.5.
40% of the business we made about 1.6.
Okay. And in terms of revenue, did you sell these targets to agents?
So we don't sell the devices to agents, we give them, they are our devices. Initially, we used to sell the devices directly to the farmers. But then we had one, we call it an inflection point. We attended the KCCR program, and they challenged us that we were doing a lot of development behind the market. They told us to go into the market and co-develop the product to the farmers. Yes. And we initially started with selling the devices to them, but then something came up. When you sell a device to the farmer and then you ask for that device to be maybe a maintenance or something, they feel like you're intruding into their space. The same way, if someone sold, Safaricom sold to you the phone, picking that phone, they're intruding into your space. So we stopped selling of the devices. We now went into leasing the devices. So the agent, we get the agent, we hire the agent, we give them the device. It is still our device. When we need to recall it, we can recall it, especially if the agent is not meeting the targets. So we don't sell to the agents, we lease it to them.
Okay. So you lease, how is the lease organized? Is it yearly, monthly, in terms of, yes?
So normally we don't set a timeline as long as they are meeting the targets that we have agreed. You realize we pay them through the revenue they generate. 60% comes to us, 40% remains with them. But no, not remain with them. Everything is paid to the company. Then we pay them back at the end of the month based on the number of tests that they have done. And
okay. So in this case, so the lease is based on the revenue to be generated based on the scans that will happen.
Come again on that question. I've not really.
So the leasing of the gadget is based on the targets, the KPI given for the scans that will happen to different farms in the regions that they're in. So what are those targets? For example, if in Nyandarua, is it per region, per county? What do you use
you have to
zone?
do 30 tests per month.
Okay.
A successful test a farm is divided into half an acre or acres.
Yes.
So if a farmer has 5 acres, 1 acre is 1 test, and we charge the farmer for that 1 acre. If the farmer has 2 acres, then he will pay for 2 tests because it's 1 acre, 1 acre. The reason we model the revenue model that way is because really, 1, it is cheaper for the agent to get the device instead of them acquiring them from us. 2, we still recover our cost on the 84th test, which technically is in the 2nd of that month. And then after that, we have broken even on that particular device, so the profit increases. And then number 3, our revenue model is built on creating a lot of jobs because we realize every crop scan device is a job. So like now we are targeting 1,000 devices in the next milestone. So 1,000 devices will directly mean again 1,000 jobs. That's why we have leveraged on that revenue model.
Okay, my last question is on the science behind the acreage of you said it's an acre, scanning an acre, and then what is the science behind the testing of an acre, and beyond that you need to do another test?
So because we don't want large-scale farmers to take advantage and pay the same fee, maybe if someone has 10 acres, if you pay really 400 bob for the entire 10 acres, and another farmer with half an acre to pay 400, the agent will have done too much work.
Okay, I hear you. So it's more of a business model rather than a science.
Yes.
So I can choose to just do 1 acre and assume the whole farm require that.
If you opt for that as the farmer.
Yes,
the onus is
Okay,
on you.
okay. I thought it was based on a science. Thank you. Thank you for that.
Now, in terms of your competitive advantage, your competitive landscape, if you can just go back to the competitive analysis. So I know, and this question I'll ask, like I had asked the previous presenter, about pushing to farmers, something they probably will struggle to grasp and find value. So in terms of how you communicate the value to the farmers, that's one. How do you communicate the value? Is it in terms of this is the number of bags that you would do when you don't use us, and this vis-a-vis when you use us? So that's one example. And then the other one is looking at your at the competitors. I know you've analyzed a number of values in terms of cost and all that. So the cost, is it stemming from a technology that you have deployed? And if that technology, you have protected it? And then I would also like to know, but usually what it means when you do something competing on cost, it's not about the pricing, but it's about the technology that cuts on your cost. So just paint a picture of what that looks. Yeah.
Okay. I'll start with the first question. How we communicate value is on the reduction in 2 things, the reduction of the fertilizer cost. So if you are spending, say, 60,000 per acre of fertilizer, that when you use our technology, it will come down. Our early adopters have reported up to 50%. So we'll guarantee you that up to 40% reduction in the fertilizer cost that you have been using, because you'll be using it more precisely than a general application of fertilizer. If you're a farmer, you can agree with me that next week you don't know the kind of fertilizer that you need to apply. So if your maize are turning yellow, you will buy a particular fertilizer and then just come and apply. But then what if you had an option that precisely shows you that your crops are lacking potassium, and then you only buy potassium fertilizer and the system will recommend that to you. So 1 is the reduction in cost. 2 is the increase in yields because of then applying the right fertilizer and farm chemicals like the crop requires. Beyond that, you realize that our product, so one of the things that we do is our product is experiential. As much as we say that we recover our cost per device on the 84th test, sometimes it delays up to the 100th test. Reason because we do a lot of free testing or free sampling to these farmers so that they can understand the value of our product. Our product is experiential in this way. It's like WhatsApp. Until you started using WhatsApp is when you knew the value. You can now not stop using WhatsApp. It is the same way with our product. We give a lot of initial free sampling so that we can lock the customer. The moment the customer starts using our device, taking that farmer again to other options, we have locked that customer. He cannot stop using the crop scan device. And that's our customer locking model. So that delays a bit of the, the break-even per device, but then there is an agreement between us and the agent.
Just a follow-up question. You're assuming that the soil testing will definitely make you incur lower cost on fertilizer. What if it turns the other? Do you have instances where it requires more fertilizer?
Yes, we do, but I want to clarify something. We are not doing soil testing, we are doing crop testing. Crop testing is an advancement of soil testing. Soil testing will show you what is lacking in the soil. Crop scan device will show you what has the crop absorbed. If you check on this image, when the test is done and we do the testing, it shows at that stage, maybe I can use the clicker, it's not pointing. So it will show you what is the growth stage for that crop. Different crops require different nutrients and different fertilizers at different growth stages. Maize will require maybe nitrogen, potassium, calcium, whatever at the germination stage. When it starts to build, quote unquote, the muscle to be able to hold the maize, it will require calcium, potassium, and phosphorus, and not nitrogen. A soil testing company will come and show you that your soil is lacking nitrogen, but ideally, when you apply nitrogen, the crop does not require nitrogen at that point. So when you do the testing, it will show you the current growth stage for the crop and what are the required nutrients for that particular level. So we are an advancement of soil testing, not doing soil testing, but I consider ourselves as a complementary to soil testing.
I agree, but in instances where it has required more input in terms of fertilizers, have you had that?
It's very rare compared to what the farmer would have done. For example, if a farmer, our motto is transitioning farmers from the general application of fertilizer to the precise application of the same. So as compared to what the farmer would have done without our device, like buying fertilizer and applying, in most cases, it is always a reduction in the fertilizer and farm chemicals.
All right, thanks.
Right, thank you so much, Jacob.
Maybe I can. So when it shows what fertilizer, does it show the quantity? Because also that has been an issue where they apply less or more. Does it tell?
Yes, so it will show you apply, for example, for this farmer, it showed the required nutrients one, as nitrogen, phosphorus. Phosphorus was low.
Yes.
Like potassium is high, calcium is high, then it recommended apply DAP fertilizer, 50 kg per acre, and then it shows you the yield expected. The reason we show the exact quantity is so that we can also protect our soils from soil degradation, which really happens because of the excess application of fertilizer. I'll give you some data. 65% of the Kenyan soils are being considered soil degraded. Reason being, majority or the major reason being the overuse of the fertilizer and farm chemicals. That's why we show them 50 kg per acre so that they apply also the quantities very precisely. Yeah. All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Jacob. And we have come to the end of day 2 for the Presidential Innovation Awards Challenge, and for the few remaining entrepreneurs, thank you for your patience. Thank you for waiting all along just to provide support to the ones who have been coming. And maybe just not to leave you empty-handed, let's just get at least one judge to share something and words of encouragement to the entrepreneurs who have stuck till the end in some sort of a feedback form. Just one word. I don't know from which judge. Yvonne, tell me. Okay.
Hello, good afternoon. Bado mko na psych? Eh? Is it the last people standing or the last people sitting? So I think it's been a journey, a worthwhile journey. Part of the learning that you have is usually based on the questions you hear being asked. And if you look keenly at what is being asked, it digs deeper into what are you really building, who is it for, how are you pricing. So the learning is also even in the way we asking the questions. So I think all in all, it has been a good day, very, very exciting. For me, I was very excited being here and seeing what people are presenting. And also to the Kenya team, much appreciated. This is something of impact. Interesting thing, I'm also a beneficiary of such an initiative. When I was telling Yvonne when I was graduating, I decided I was not looking for a formal job. So I went to my uni and I told them, could I continue using the lab here for free? And they're asking me, other guys are leaving uni, unataka kubakia hapa. So, and that's how I got started with my first company. And then now all the way now to starting Chums. So to Kenya, you're doing something worthwhile. The other thing is your CEO, Mr. Omwansa, also handheld me when I was starting that. So in the right company, some of the things you learn is to making do with the little that you have. Yeah, and that resilience. So one of the things you get is even standing here and answering those questions is also a learning opportunity. And the idea is you build onto that as you progress. Yeah, so I know it feels hard. It's at the same time exciting, at the same time very demanding. But I can tell you, you're in the right company. And it's a journey of 1,000 steps, only that it starts with one. So the Kenya team, thanks for the wonderful job. I'm more than happy to be part of this and the impact you're creating in our nation. I think the only way we can build jobs is by empowering these entrepreneurs, and that's exactly what you're doing. You are at the heart of that. And being in any space where there is exchange of ideas, it's a good space to be in. Cindy? Yes, everything is built on ideas. So with that, first of all, I would like to thank you for giving me a chance to be here and also seeing all the awesome work you're doing. Awesome.
Thank you, Sam. I just wanted to take a minute to recognize you guys for all the pitches you've done, the preparation, the hard work, the thinking through your products, and most importantly, the courage to actually stand and tell us about yourselves and what you're doing. So please clap for yourselves. You've done very well. So we're looking forward to seeing which ones will progress to the next level. But wherever you are, I just hope you're going to continue working on your product and believing in yourself. You're going to go places, all right? So thank you very much for your time. Phyllis, that's it? So that's it. Okay, thank you. You're free to leave at leisure. Asanteni sana.
There is tea. Let us enjoy our tea in the main restaurant area.